Hey, welcome to another video. I thought I'd do a quick update on a video I did about 3 months ago now as to whether it was worth upgrading to the Z8 over the Z7 II. Admittedly, I recorded that video intentionally the first day that I was out using the Z8 because I really wanted my initial reaction on film. However, now that I've been using the Z8 for about 3 months now, I thought I'd give a little update as to whether I still think the Z8 was a worthy upgrade over the Z7 II for what I use a camera for, which is a variety of subjects and genres in photography. I do like to shoot portraits, I do like to shoot landscapes. I've gotten more back into shooting birds and wildlife again now with the Z8. So I thought I would do a quick update and then show you some of the images just inside of 90 days that I've been able to obtain with the Z8. In my initial video, I stated that I thought I was going to end up preferring the U1 and U2 options on the Z7 II over the banks in the Z8. That's false. Now that I've had a chance to use the banks and set them up and understand what they do, maybe because you have 4 of them instead of 2, or there might even have been 3 on the Z7 II, but the point is that there's a lot more flexibility with the banks, and I prefer that. I've set up one of my function buttons so that I can change them on the fly. And you think, well, why is that so important? Well, even with birds in flight or wading birds, because I shoot a lot of herons and spoonbills that are wading, a lot of times they're just sitting on a stump or something, and it's more of a portrait look than it is in flight. And I know it's not a major thing, but I do like the option of being able to switch back and forth between more of a portrait mode and an in-flight mode pretty quick with just a flip of that function switch. In other words, I have bank B set up for portraits and bank C set up for wildlife and action. And also another thing I like is the ISO button, the layout of it, where it is on that camera. Because, sorry, the video might feel a little choppy. It's because it is. I live near this little airport, and the helicopter training is going on, and the darn helicopters keep flying over top, and then an airplane, a little putt-putt plane takes off. It's just noisy, and I'm near a road that normally doesn't have too much traffic, but for right now, for whatever reason, there's a lot of traffic on it, so it's been noisy. Anyway, so I apologize if it seems a little choppy. Then again, I may edit it and you might not even realize it. Who knows? Anyway, the point is that I like the layouts where the buttons are, where I can switch between my ISO and those banks, because even when the birds are wading, there's a lot of trees and all in the way, and they go into shadows and they come out into the sunlight. And down here you have a lot of clouds. Like today, the sun keeps going behind all these clouds. And so the light is changing constantly. And I might switch from ISO 200 to ISO 800 pretty quickly. So I do like the layouts of where the buttons are. And of course the functionality on the Z8 it's just impressive. So to me that's a big upgrade. Another thing that it's allowed me to do, I've gotten far more keepers taking pictures of my grandkids, of them moving around and nailing that eye and just them in general. I've gotten more keepers. So I do think that the autofocus not only has allowed me to get better images, but it's made me want to shoot more again. I guess the bottom line is that no, I don't regret upgrading to the Z8. I think it's been a big upgrade only for what I photograph. Again, as I said in the initial video, and I stand by it, if I was just shooting landscapes, I wouldn't need the Z8. I would have stuck with the Z7 too. But because I like shooting a variety of topics, to me, yes, it was worth the upgrade, and I don't regret it. A couple things I wanted to mention before I leave here is that I haven't done a lot of landscapes with it yet, so I'd like to do more than that. But I'm sure, as I mentioned in the other video, it'll be about the same as the Z7 too. I don't think you're going to see a big difference. But I also wanted to mention that I have used a variety of lenses, everything from the Nikon 85 1.8, the 50 1.8, a Tamron 70-300, and I've also used a Voigtlander Apo lens, the 50mm f2, which I actually have with me right at this moment. So I have used it with a variety of lenses. And the other thing I wanted to bring up, not as me as the expert, because I'm not, this is why I'm asking. If you're watching this and you've used both, not projection, being a fanboy, but you've used both a Nikon Z system and either a Leica Q2, even a Q, or a Leica M with either Voigtlander lenses or the Leica M lenses. Now I know the Q has its own fixed lens on there, but I'm just curious if you can be objective and tell me if you see a big difference between the two. I know most Leica people are going to say, yeah, the Leica's a little better, and they're probably right. But I'm just curious whether you can be objective and tell me how much of a difference you think there really is. And I'm not going to trade in my Z8 for a Leica M. I'm just analytical, and I do like to do a lot of research, and I just get curious about different camera bodies and different systems. But I am curious as to people's thoughts as to how much of a difference there really is. Let's say on a Leica M10, I know there's probably a lot more of those out there than a Leica M11, since it's a relatively new camera. I realize most people are going to think the Leica glass is better, and here again, probably is. It better be, because it's 10 times the price of most other lenses. But is it really 10 times better? Just any comments would be appreciated. Okay, thanks. I appreciate you watching, and I appreciate all the people who do comment. The vast majority of them are positive comments, and I do appreciate that. I appreciate them all. Sometimes I goof up, make mistakes, and people point it out, and that's fine too. These things aren't the easiest to make when it comes to coming up with topics and wanting to get out here and do them, and so any kind of positive reinforcement always helps. So if you don't mind, hit that subscribe button, maybe even the like button, and enjoy a few of the images that I've gotten with the Z8. Till next time, see you soon. Take good care.